This is Trans Africa Radio.
The time right now is 18:03 p.m. Central African time, and we are in studio with Thandy Matlaila, as promised, and we are speaking all things bless us must fall. But before you are wondering, in case you're wondering who Thandy is, well, Thandy is a South African actress, dancer, choreographer, entertainer, and television presenter.
Good evening. How are you, Thando?
Wow. How are you?
I'm blessed, thank you.
Are you good? How's the weekend been?
Yo, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing what I do on any other given, a moment to give back. So we had a blanket drive at church on Saturday where we're giving away blankets to the homeless people in and around the city of Johannesburg. So that's what we've been doing.
That's what you've been doing.
Yep.
And you did say off air that you slept today. You slept and it felt nice.
Yeah. It really, really did.
It felt really, really good just to take some time out to rest.
Yeah, I did. And I hope I'm refreshed enough to be here with you guys for the next hour.
Yeah. It will go by very quickly. It always does. And it's just a chat. And today we're speaking all things bless us must fall. And of course, you've been in the entertainment industry for a while. And you are a young lady. I won't tell people how old you are, but I promise you look half your age. You do look half your age. But you've always been in the entertainment industry. And right now you're branching out just a little bit, I guess, into a new campaign that you started, which is called Blessings Must Fall. Right?
Can we chat about that in a little while, guys? There is no such campaign as Blessings Must Fall.
Okay.
And this is what I've been saying to everybody. But I actually thought about it last week and I posted it up. I was like, guys, I have been misquoted. But it's okay, because I really think maybe this is the direction that God wants me to go. Because I think you're like the fourth person to ask me about that. And when first I heard it, I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, you've got a campaign called Blessings Must Fall. I'm like, no. Let's not get this wrong. My campaign is called 27 Dresses.
Okay.
Where I give away matric farewell dresses to underprivileged matriculants.
Okay.
And when obviously I talk to them, my biggest campaign, or rather my biggest take on things, is that they need, the biggest problem that our teenagers and the youth in general are facing are self-awareness issues, which is why I try to instill in them ukuthi bazazi, bazithande, bazithembe. That is South African term for know yourself, love yourself, trust yourself. And I believe that when you know, love and trust yourself, you wouldn't be falling victim to things like drugs, to peer pressure, and to sleeping with older men. That's where this comes from. To older men, to validate your worth. But I think that's what grasps their attention. They're like,
and we're taking this and running with it.
And I'm okay. Like, to be honest, I said maybe 27 dresses this year, because it's going to be running for the 4th year. Maybe I should implement and do Blessings Must Fall, because I've had such wonderful feedback on all of that. And I was like, don't run away from what people want you to do, and don't run away from what God wants you to do. And if it's something that you're passionate about, then why not?
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, it's definitely a calling of sorts. Clearly.
Really.
So we are speaking all things blessings today, and I think this is it's an interesting conversation to have. We've had sugar daddies, I think, since the beginning of time. Actually, it's been around for many, many years. It's not something that's new, but I think over maybe the past 5 years, this blesser phenomenon really came out into the open, and I don't know if it became more socially acceptable, but it just became something that we were all speaking about in a very candid way.
Do you know what I think it is? You remember 5 years ago, social media was not as big as it is right now. I would like to think that it has always been there. It's just a matter of we never spoke about it because we didn't have the platform to voice ourselves. But now, when Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything is out there, and everybody talks and tweets about literally every single thing. Because, I mean, when I was 20, right? Yes. And there was this great guy, but he was 40. And I mean, when I was 20, my mom was literally 37. So he was older than my mother.
Gosh, yeah.
And he used to get so offended because I'd be like, I can't date you. He's like, why not? I'm like, Mangi Gusekaya, what do I say to my parents? What do they call you?
My mother must call you Booty.
Yes. Like, what do my parents call you? And I don't think my parents would be able to protect me from you if anything goes wrong, because it's like, he's our son-in-law.
Yeah, but he's also an older brother to us.
Yes. I would like to think that I've never been attracted to men older than me because of the fact that my parents are so young as well.
So when we talk about this blessed thing, what makes a blesser a blesser? Let's talk about that, right? Because I mean, I actually posed a question to the listener earlier, and many of the answers just came back to the fact that it's age and resources, and the exchange thereof then for sex. So what is it? What makes a blesser a blesser?
You know what? Once upon a time, I would like to believe that it was age. Right now, I just think it's an exchange. He can be your age, but it's not based on love. It's based on what he can provide you with and what you can give him in return. If he can pay for your hair, for your rent, he's a blesser. He's blessing you with all these things that only one person who's upstairs is supposed to bless you with. But you found somebody here on earth to bless you with those things. So I really just think a blesser. You know what? A sugar daddy is a blesser, but a blesser is not a sugar daddy, because you know.
I get you. I get
what I'm saying. I really think so, because I think even women can be blessers. You know, if you are dating a young 25-year-old, you know, and you're paying for his school fees, you're paying for his car, his GTI, you know, and then he's servicing you because your husband just can't get it up no more. I don't know.
Then that's
you're a blesser, you know,
right? And a blessee. Now, in my head, there's always been two kinds of blessies, right? There's no seriously. There's the blessee that gets into a blessee relationship to literally survive, right?
Yes.
To survive.
There's those who know.
Yes. I'm surviving. This guy's paying for fees. He gives me money. The money goes home. It goes back to Eslalini, wherever home may be. And then there's the one who he does hair, nails. He does Dubai. You know. So it's two kinds of blessees, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, the exchange is the exchange. It is what it is.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But some of them get into. Don't judge me, guys. I've got a lot of my friends who are blessers. You know. And when I broke up with my boyfriend last year, so, I mean, I've not been in the single game for like 9 years.
Woo.
And it was strange how things have changed in the dating game. You know. And I sat down with him and I was like, but buddy, like, why am I still single? He's like, Thandi, the problem is most of my friends, one, I'm married, and I would never want you to be in that space, you know? And not because I wanted to be in that space, but I was said to him, why not, you know? Because, I mean, you doing it, he's like, trust me, this is one relationship no girl would ever want to be in. And I was like, make me understand. He's like, Thandi, you people judge all these girls who are blessies, but most of them get into it without knowledge. And he gave me a typical example.
Okay.
I was like, okay, like, so it's so interesting to get different views. And he said to me, Thandi, number one, I meet this girl, you know, I'm at a restaurant. Obviously, my Maserati is parked right outside there, and he's young. He's like 32.
Okay.
You know, so obviously you see a 32-year-old man with a Maserati, like,
what happened here?
You know, so he's like, he sits down, dines her. But that's the thing. He doesn't ask her out. He just asks for her numbers and says, let's hang out. And obviously, girl is like, there's no harm. You know, he's obviously not trying to sleep with me. And I'm obviously not a blessee because he's not buying me anything. I'm just giving him my number. And we hang out. I call her like any other day. And the first weekend, I invite her over to Cape Town. You know, I've got a conference in Cape Town. And he's like, Thandi, you must understand. Most people know my name, but they don't know what I look like. You know, it's one of those. Like, I can throw an image in, like, yeah, I know that name, but you don't know what he looks like. So even if you meet him up in Cape Town walking with this young little thing, you don't know who he is. But the minute he would say his name, then you'd be like, oh. So he books her on a business class, and he's already in Cape Town, and she's still in Joburg. Books her in a business class, takes her to Cape Town, books her in a different hotel. They don't share a room. Books her to, and he's like, okay, at 8 o'clock, somebody's gonna come pick you up, bring you to the conference, and we're gonna meet there. So to this girl, this is like, okay, I'm trying to understand what's going on here. When they get to the conference, you must understand he's busy. He's at work. So you've got no time to ask anything as to what do you do? Like,
what's going on here?
Yes.
Yes.
They do the whole thing, and when it hits 10 o'clock, he sends her back to her room. He goes back to his room. First thing back on Sunday, he sends her back on a flight to Joburg. Remember, he didn't sleep in her room, nothing. The only thing he did was have dinner with her, with his associates. So in her head, she's like, surely he's single. I mean, he included me in his private space. Same thing happens again. Calls her during the week. Are you okay? How's your week going? What do you do in life? Now he starts asking her personal questions. What do you do? Okay, I'm a student at UJ. Oh, interesting. Actually, I'm doing the same thing I was doing in Cape Town, in Durban. Join me. Girl joins. So do you understand already? This girl is falling in love with the kind of guy that he is.
Yeah, and the lifestyle.
No, he's not provided her with anything except take her to, you know?
Yeah.
Gets back the next week. He's like, you know what? I'll have time for you after we come back from Durban on Wednesday. I'll take you out for lunch and you can tell me all about it. So Wednesday they hang out. She pours out her heart. Okay, I'm from the Eastern Cape, moved to Joburg, I go to UJ. So the only thing my parents can afford are my studies and whatever. Oh, do you need any assistance? Well, yeah, I'd like some new. Doesn't ask any questions, gives her a stack of money to go buy herself, look pretty. Cool. This girl is like already in heaven now. Oh my gosh, this guy is doing this. What does he want? But listen, he still does not sleep with her because now she's emotionally involved because sometimes you confuse sex with all those things. But right now, to herself, she's like, surely I'm in love with this man because I've not slept with him, but I'm feeling. So on Saturday, again, they go out and now they start talking. I really like you as a person. If you want me to help you out, call me up. And obviously she does that. Oh, my phone's broken, I need a new phone. Okay, cool, I'll buy you a new phone. He buys her a new phone. Literally 4 weeks time, then they have like the proper conversation. Now she's asking, what do you do? He tells her, so where do you stay? Oh, I live in Greenside with my wife and kids. Bam.
Oh my gosh.
What?
It's like, what's going on?
You live with your wife and kids, but every second night you're with me, like, and yes, we've never slept together, but you take me out like to late dinners. When do you have time for your family? But she doesn't ask those questions because now this guy has provided with the love that she wants, and that's how they get into it.
Oh my gosh.
And there's no turning back. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but also you can imagine if somebody comes into your life and transforms your life in 4 weeks. In 4 weeks ago, maybe Mr. Price was your best bet, right? You know what I'm saying? And now maybe you've got an iPhone 7A, B. Now you're walking into Zara.
Babes, your life for children who go to, somebody who's from like a lower class family and they've never had these things happen to them. And I mean, she flew business class, guys. Forget that it was her first time on a flight. She is flying business class.
Yeah,
she's got somebody to pick up at the airport with her name.
Probably in a Merc, not in a Corolla.
Of course not.
I'm saying, yeah, absolutely.
Of course not.
So basically, Thandi, what you're saying is the fact that not everybody walks into the situation knowing exactly what they're walking into.
Nope.
And I think that's an interesting kind of aspect to it, because we all assume that it's planned. That girls wake up in the morning, they bath, they go to a place where they know they will attract a certain kind of guy, and that's their aim, to pull them in.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Because blessers would tell you that no. Most of the time it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
Why was he doing it? So for instance, you have a wife and you have kids that you clearly take care of, right? And that you provide for. What is it about you as a man do you feel like you have to give to this stranger?
It's power.
It's power. You think it's about power?
Yes.
And that's it?
I think it's power in the fact that, to be honest, I really just think it's power because it makes men feel important that there is somebody who's relying on me.
And wifey, could your wife not be depending on you?
Of course she is, and you've got enough money to supply for both.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I mean, for me, what I always think is that, I mean, there's so much. We spend so much time criticizing the placee, right? And we just go in on the placee and how she should know better. She should and she shouldn't. But my whole thing is, has anyone sat down to understand just the psyche of the blesser? You know what I'm saying? And like you're saying, it is about power. And he obviously feels needed. He feels important, and he feels like
the same group of friends. Not so long ago, I was involved in a car. I hope he's not listening.
No, but there's no name. There's no name. It's all hypothetical. Yeah.
I got involved in a car accident, and so we're supposed to have a meeting, and I'm like, I don't have a car. It didn't take him 10 seconds. He's like, okay, call my assistant, she'll book you, she'll hire your car.
How? Okay.
Oh, okay. But it also, I promise you, it does so much to your mind, because I'm like, can you imagine what this guy would do to me if I was sleeping with him? Right now, I'm not even sleeping with him, and he booked me a car for 2 weeks, babes. For 2 weeks while my car was in for repairs and all of that. And I was like, I think I understand why some women fall for this kind of life.
Exactly, right? And I think that's definitely one of the most important aspects of it, is that, look, they provide, right? They do provide, and I mean, for instance, I can imagine if I was in a blessy relationship with somebody who's paying my fees. He's paying for my fees. It is paid.
You don't have to worry.
I don't have to worry. It is paid. And I think I think that's definitely one of the most interesting aspects of this whole thing, is that the things get done. Yes, the things get done.
Exactly. And surprisingly, the women who get into these blessy relationships, most of them have got a stable boyfriend.
Yes. so
it's the funniest thing ever. It is the funniest thing ever, because And you're like, but why? He's like, I love my man, you know, he's kind, he's generous, but he can't get the things that I want.
The things don't get done.
Like they don't get done. And for me, my take has always been like, but babes, you've got a job, why aren't you working? It's like, not about that life, babes. If somebody can come into my life and do all of those things, why should I?
Yeah.
Why should I? I used to have a neighbor when I still live in the same complex, but I've just moved apartments. She lived the most fascinating life. I kid you not. And I would ask her, I'd be like, but you work? She's like, yeah, so? I'm like, so why do you need all these people? She's like, Thandi, do you think with my salary I can provide the kind of hair that I've got? Do you think I can afford to pay for my apartment right now? And I'm like, oh, but I thought you were. And she raised a very interesting point. She's like, Thandi, I don't mind being single, but when somebody wants to come into my life, they need to make a change.
Yeah.
I need to see something different. I'm like, but no. She's like, no, babes. I tell them from the end. She's like, I don't lie to them. I tell you from the start. I'm like, okay, you found me like this. Now you want to be a part of this. What are you bringing? I'll be like, he's bringing me happiness. She's like, you're Thandi, babes. You got a long way to go.
Happiness is overrated, man.
She's like, yeah, you got a long way to go, hey?
Yeah.
And surprisingly, right now, she lives in Douglasdale. She's got a husband, and I was like, yeah, sometimes these places do marry them.
Yeah, they do marry them, which is also very interesting because looking from the outside in, you can't really tell if there's love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It can look like a financial exchange from afar where the guy provides and the girl then gives him sex in return. But that can turn into love. And I mean, we've heard
she got married.
Really?
She's married and she's happy right now. I'm like,
but then my question poses the fact that her position then opens up, right? For a man who is used to providing for a blessee, when your blessee turns into your wife, does the need to be a blesser just disappear?
I don't think so.
I don't
think so, because you remember I said to you, for them it's all about power. If I can pay, which is why there's men who still want their women not to work, because he wants to feel like he's the head of the household. I want to feel needed. Actually, men are needy. That's the word. That is the word. Men are needy. They want somebody who needs them. And if you check, husbands will always give to their wives and whatever, but the minute she starts working, that's when most of them go out and find blessees, because their wives are no longer dependent on them. You know?
Yeah.
My wife doesn't ask me for money to do this anymore. Oh my gosh, am I losing my touch? Let me go find out outside if there's somebody who still needs my services, you know, who I can still do things for.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I once read a very interesting book, and it was basically this book that tells you how to get whatever you want out of a man. Right? It's a very interesting book. It was called The Queen's Code. You must Google it. It's called The Queen's Code. And when I read this book, it was very interesting because the author basically says that there's certain things that you need to do for a man. You know, like if you can't, you know, the mayonnaise jar, you can actually open it yourself. But sometimes you need to be like, oh baby, please open the mayonnaise. Because then he's
that's what I'm saying. Men want to feel needed.
They want to feel needed, you know what I'm saying? And maybe you can reach that thing at the top, but you're like, oh, please come. But my thing is, must we act like damsels in distress now the whole time? Because men are needy.
That is so true. Like I kid you not, that's so true. I had this friend of mine, and I mean, we met last year, and already I was single, so like we'd hang out and whatever, and it amazed me the other time. I was like, oh my gosh, I was in trouble this morning. I needed to do something. He's like, why didn't you call me?
Yeah.
I'm like, babes, you live all the way in Boxburg. I live in Lyndhurst. Why must I call you to come and change my light bulb? And he's like, but I can. And I did it. He was at my house at 7:30 in the morning to change my light bulb. I'm like, wow.
Why?
Like, why?
I could have been okay, but it's the screw on. I think I can maneuver my way around screwing on a light bulb and screwing it off.
No, actually, no, I can't. But I mean, I was gonna call the maintenance guy in my complex, you know, and he was like, no, just call me up and I can. And I was like, but honestly, dude, like, do you know how heavy traffic is in the morning? He's like, no, not at 7:30.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
okay,
whatever.
Thank you.
You know, like even with this past weekend for the blanket drive, he called me up. He's like, "Do you want me to go and buy the blankets with you?" And I'm thinking, no, it's fine. I've got my executive at church to come with me. He's like, no, I really want to come with you. So it's like, okay, fine, guys. Nobody needs to go with me to go buy the blankets.
I'm buying
my
blankets.
friend is coming. They're like, your man. I'm like, no, he's not my man, but he's my friend. I don't know, but he wants to come and buy the blankets with me. It's okay. And yeah,
so,
like
the neediness of the men.
Like you need me. Like, can I feel like you need me? I'm like, okay.
Take care of the man. The man should provide. And take care of you. So my thing is then, why, outside of the fact, so let's assume that all places were not married, right? Let's assume that they were all single men and they were still dating younger girls and it was still a transactional relationship, but they were providing. Why is this unnatural? Why are we calling it unnatural if it's the way that we say men should be? What makes it unnatural?
To me, it is not. So, but I'm trying to view it from everybody else's point of view.
Yeah,
I think it's viewed as, and that's how sometimes I view it as, depending on how this relationship started. Because for me, it's wrong. This is inverted commas. It's wrong depending on what the nature of this relationship is. How did you guys come to be in this relationship? Was it a matter of you were and never and you said, what are you bringing on the table if you want to be a part of my life? Or was it we fell in love and you just happened to be a wealthy man?
Yeah,
boom, hey, I'm lucky.
Because now we have to date poor. We have to date broke because if we date rich, then it must be dubbed a blessy relationship.
So for me, I just really think it's what is the nature of your relationship? Is this guy yours, or you are sharing him with Dorcas and Doris and Martha? Because for you, it's he sees you on Fridays and you guys have got this thing go. Wow, I actually just thought of something that happened to a girl I know. So when I was in tertiary, I used to hang out with a lot of Wits girls, and one of my friends, Tulakanyo, brought a very interesting friend, very beautiful, and she was busy going on about how, we're having dinner, and we're like, let's buy, and she's like, sorry guys, I can't eat. I'm like, like why not? Sorry, my boyfriend and I have got a contract that I can't gain more than 2Ks or our relationship is going to be over. Huh? What? How? Why? And I needed her to make me understand. She's like, yeah, so my boyfriend and I have got this relationship. He said he'll give me everything that I want, but I need to stay looking like this. I can't gain weight. I can't. I'm like, so and like you're a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you are his fantasy.
It's aesthetic, this whole thing, yeah.
You are a fantasy. And she was like, well, babes, if I need to get what I want from him, I gotta stay like this. But what was so interesting about her was that she's from a wealthy family. So it's not a matter of she's poor and she's doing this because she needs to get books or whatever. And I needed to try and understand, like, why are you doing this? And she's like, I obviously can't be dependent on my parents forever. I also need to hustle. I'm like, but it's not like your parents have got a problem with providing for you. It's like, well, yeah, it's about time that I experience different money. And I'm like,
how? Okay. I always thought a rand was a rand, but I mean, if it's
so also as well, most people who are in these relationships, and you remember you said there were two types.
Yes.
There's the ones for survival and there's the Dubai kind of ones.
Yeah.
The Dubai kind of ones, most of them actually come from well-off families that they still need to keep up with how they were brought up. And you're like, but they gave you the best education money can buy, why don't you just go work? But for them it's like, no, daddy's always provided for me, so now John must take over from daddy and he must do the things that my parents used to do for me. So
I think that's also it's a completely different spin. It's just that some of it it's for maintenance of a lifestyle that I grew up knowing.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? If I was eating from a certain restaurant, we can't now go to KFC for love. Do you know what I'm saying? I can imagine.
Please don't ever say that, because I have been. So I was having a conversation with my with my superintendent 2 weeks ago, and I mean, like, he's not young, but like, he's very open, and we have these kind of relationships. So we're having a conversation there. He's like, yo, but Matlaila, like, sometimes you can get. I'm like, yo, Fundisa, I've been single for like a full year. It was in April because this year April I was literally single for a full year, and I'm like, I don't think I like it, but you know what? I know God is going to provide a husband for me, and I'm going to get married next year, March. It's like, yo, Matlaila, you're ambitious. Yeah. I'm like, but I have to be. He's like, babes, let me tell you, you're going to have a very hard time. I'm like, but what do you mean? Like, you're hurting me. Like, I want to get married next year, March. He's like, Matlaila, problem number one is you are too much.
Oh, my.
I'm like, but what do you mean? He's like, when a guy looks at you, they see expense. I'm like, but I pay for all of those things. He's like, but you must understand, the fact that you pay for yourself is even worse, because when he comes into your life, he wants to take over all of that. I'm like, but I don't want him to. He's like, yeah, but a man. Yeah, this is how a man is thinking. I'm like, and that's not true. I'm not high maintenance. He's like, let me ask you a simple question. What, like, do you own a pair of pumps? I'm like, what does this have to do with anything? He's like, Thandi, you've never come to church wearing flat shoes. You are forever in heels. I'm like, but I'm short. You know, he's like, but I'm just trying to get you to understand how everybody else views you and why they think you're unapproachable. And I'm like, but I mean, I've got a reason. I don't own pumps because it's like Matlaila to eat at KFC. And in my head, I'm like, but I grew up eating Nando's. Like,
so now what must happen?
You know, like, so, and I'm like, and my problem with KFC, I don't quite have a problem with them, but I think I'm one of those people. I'm kind of like allergic to fat. Like even when I would be with my parents and they buy KFC, like I would take a serviette and drain the fat out. And I figured if I live alone, why must I put myself through that?
Just like, buy Nando's. It's good. It's good.
You know,
keeps going. Yeah.
He's like, but Thandi, these are the problems you're going to have because I'm sure your man that you meet, he probably wants to eat KFC, but he's like, yo, okay. Gail wants Tasha's. I'm like, so what if Tasha's is my favorite church? He's like, yeah, Thandi, because whenever we look on social media, check in, you were forever with your friends, you're at Tasha's and Melrose Arch, not just any food. Melrose. I'm like, but it's 7 minutes away from my house. Like, why must I then move to where? He's like, but that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, how people view you. And I mean, like, oh my gosh, really?
That definitely brings me into then the characteristics of a blessee. Do you know what I'm saying? We may have a view in our heads that all blessees are dumb, right?
Yeah.
Which not necessarily true. Nope. Not necessarily true. And also that they may come from poor families. We definitely know that's not true. But I think the whole thing with blessees, are we trying to understand is, does it all stem from a low self-esteem?
I would like to think so.
Okay.
I would really like to think so because as I keep on saying to people that if you know what you're worth, why must you stoop low to having somebody else doing all these things for you while you are capable? I think I would like to think that we are all capable, you know, and others is because they want to feel important. And it's been given to women and they're using it, their sexuality. You know, they are using their sexuality. They're like, God gave me this, so why am I not using it? You're like, but don't you think you should use it to glorify him? Because right now you're not.
You're not, absolutely.
You are definitely not glorifying. But who am I to judge? But I just feel that most, especially in teenagers, you know, when you're older, you've obviously got your own reasons. But as teenagers, I really, really think that it's lack of self-worth. You don't know what you are capable of, because if you knew what you're capable of, you wouldn't want to share your husband. You wouldn't want to share your boyfriend, you know, with his wife.
Yeah, with his,
you know, forget that you are the side dish. You know, as a wife, then you can think about it, you're like, but he's the father of my kids, you know, divorce and whatever. But you came into this knowing this man is married. Why are you getting yourself involved in that?
Yeah.
How do you love yourself that low that you think that, you know what, I should be, because you're a teenager. There are so many men out there. You know, there is one who's going to love you for who you are. And I keep on saying to people, I'm like, guys, and we actually had a conference that it was called Singletons, Single by Choice. And I was like, I'd like to think that I'm single by choice, really, because it's not like there's a lack of guys asking me out, but I just don't think they're worthy of me. Yeah. You know, and not because they're not good people. Most of them really, really are. And this is the sad part. I was actually saying, I was like, I don't know. Because most of them they've got baggage. They come with baggage. And their baggage is either a wife or a living girlfriend. Yeah. And I'm like, why are you here? Yeah. Why are you here? And the reason that the excuse that they all give is like, but we're talking about you and I. I'm like, yes, I hear you. I really do like you as a person. You're great company to hang out with. And if something in me says, when this guy's asking you out, say no. Trust me, there is something. Yeah. Because there's one I used to pray about him, like, I really like this guy. Whenever I need him, he's around. And you would never think that he's cheating, because I mean, he lives in Centurion, I live in Joburg. Like, I'd literally call him at 9 o'clock. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm craving Nando's. It's like, I'm coming. You wouldn't think somebody like that is, you know, who would, you know, and I'd be on set and we'd have lunch and I'd be like, I really don't feel like eating set food. Don't you want to bring me Nando's? Wherever he is, he will come to set and bring me Nando's. But I still had that thing that I can't date this guy, and I needed to understand. So one day we're sitting together and I'm like, tell me something. Are you in a relationship? And I've been so fortunate enough that none of them can lie. Yeah, the truth. It's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, but you are sitting on my couch right now. How? Why? You know? He's like, but this has got nothing to do with her. this is about you and I. No. There's no you and I here. You have got a girlfriend. He's like, yeah, but it's complicated. Okay, you know what? Go home.
Yeah.
Go uncomplicate it. When you are done with the uncomplicating it, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but I don't even live with her. Okay, that's not the point. The fact that she still calls you her boyfriend until he's like, but I barely see her because I'm with you all the time. I'm like, and that was the strange thing. For the past 2 weeks, literally, with me every day. Like, it didn't make sense to even think that you've got a girlfriend, but something in me said I should ask you.
Yeah.
It's like, so you can see that I barely even spend time with her. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you need to end it off with her before you start something new.
Yeah. And can you imagine how many women just don't say that?
I can't.
How many women just like, okay, yeah, you're actually right, because he is there. He is there. So it is convenient for you, and that's another thing. It's he wouldn't say it's about you and me if it didn't work somewhere. So he's obviously said this to somebody before,
and I guess that's why most of them are in these relationships, because it's like, but why are we talking about her? And a girl will be like, yeah, actually it's right. Why am I discussing his wife?
Why am I hurting myself?
It's him. And when I need him, he's here. What more do I need? And you're like, babes, you are sleeping with somebody's husband. Husband. In the Bible it says, thou shalt not. Wait, maybe on your side. And this is another thing. And I'm sorry to say this to all my Christian brothers and sisters, but this is the one excuse that Christians use. That they say, remember, I'm not the one who's committing adultery. He is. I'm not married. You're like,
oh my.
What?
That's a new spin. I like it.
It really is. And that's why that's how Christians use it, because you'd be like, every Sunday you go and you are praying to this God. It's like, but no, I'm not committing adultery. Hello, you're sleeping with somebody's husband. Yeah. He's committing adultery, not me. I'm not married.
And do we understand just the karma of it? Just the karma of it?
Don't.
Because I don't think there's any blessee. I think there's very few women out there who don't want to one day be in a monogamous marriage, right? You expect it somewhere down the line.
You know what? You should go, and this is the thing, you must go out there and talk to people. It's amazing how many people say that they would be in a polygamous relationship. And I'd be like, at your age, it's like I was having this conversation with people at 45, 50.
Yeah, because
it's understandable. These people are my age. She's 25, 26, and she goes on and says, no, I don't mind. And you're like, why? She's like, because then I've got control of the kind of woman that he's sleeping with.
Oh my gosh.
And for them, that's the take, because I think it's because they're so used to the fact that every man cheats right now. I think growing up in this era, they've seen 90% of men cheating than not. So they're like, if my husband's going to be sleeping with someone, can I at least give her approval? So, and I think that's how most of them are thinking. I'm like,
but maybe then the things that what I've heard recently in a conversation is that monogamy is actually just unnatural anyway, right? It's unnatural, right?
It's so funny that what's right is what is unnatural right now.
Right. So apparently, another take is the fact that monogamy is unnatural in the sense that men can't help it. You can be the best wife in the universe. You can literally cook and clean, and you can give him the best sex ever. You can actually do everything in your possible human capacity to give him.
That's what most men say, actually.
Right? But still, there'll be a blessee out there.
Remember the statement was, it's not about my wife, it's about you and me. Now this is when you're gonna experience another side of me, which is gonna be literally the spiritual side of me. We've done nothing. We've just given the devil the power to use what we love against us. Because if you think about it, it's even biblical. We fell into sin because of all the things, and the devil had to sit back and to look and like, what is the one thing that these people love? And there's two things, and he is using it day in, day out. Sex and money. Sex and money.
And they actually both equate to power in some level, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's what they are. Remember earlier on I said to you, it sprung in my head the other day when my friend hired me the car, and I was like, think of all the things he could do for me if I was dating. But I had to quickly snap out of that and be like, I'm not that person. I can't. And to be honest, I could be right now, It's like, he's just a friend of mine. He hires me a car for 2 weeks. Imagine all the holidays, guys. If I can just be his girlfriend, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you quickly need to guys, prayer is important. I know right now we're getting to another element. You're like, wait, we're talking about now you get it. But I promise you, prayer is so important. You need to rebuke all these things because you need to tell yourself, you're like, God, I'm worth more than this. I am worth more than a car for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and
I am worth more than that dress.
And you bring something up that's very, very important. The fact that it is tempting for
everybody. I'm no different, guys. I preach this thing, but trust me, I am no different to you and I. It's a matter of choice. It's the decisions that you make. You need to sit back and ask yourself, you're like, do I want to be a part of this? And at the end of the day, it boils down to the decisions that you make. Are you able to sleep at night? Because to be honest, I don't think like I would be able to sleep knowing that I'm sleeping with somebody's husband. You know, we need to learn to support ourselves first before we can be supporting international artists. And again, it boils down to what we're talking about. Why must we be jealous of our African brothers and sisters? Why do we find it so hard to support the guy next door? I would rather go and support Dubai people than support my own brothers and sisters. Guys, we need to support and love and, you know, one another. And we complain every day saying our brothers and sisters in the industry die broke.
This is Trans Africa Radio.